Let's say you would like to avail a credit card. The bank wants to access your financial information to evaluate your eligibility. What if the bank's creditworthiness algorithm can perform computations on your financial information in a secure, privacy-aware, and trusted virtual data room without ever laying eyes on the actual data itself? Knox attempts to solve this problem by letting financial information users upload their custom code onto a cloud-based function as a service platform, which in turn can be invoked when the FIU makes an FI request to the FIP. The FI data is received by Knox and only returns the output of that execution to FI. So let's take a look at what we have built. As we log onto the platform, we will be greeted by a dashboard that lists all of the telemetry information associated with our functions. In Knox, our functions are known as actions. So let's try to create a new action in JavaScript that will check if the average balance of a customer's account is greater than 50,000. Make sure you're providing sufficient amount of timeout and as well as memory. So I'm going to put in 30 seconds and 256 megabytes of memory. That's the minimum amount of memory that will be assigned to this function. I'll save the action. So let's test this out. So you can paste your dummy FI data into this text box and click on test. Now it's important to mention here that this test simulates the FI request call from the FIU to the account aggregator. In our case, the account aggregator is mocked out with about half or more endpoints that are required to simulate the entire end-to-end flow. From the time an FI request is made to the account aggregator, the FI is fetched from the FIP and then processed by the virtual data room provider. As we refresh and we'll cycle through the various states of the execution here. We'll see if we'll be able to view all of these state changes, but ideally this should move to executed and then eventually output ready. So that's the state right before the virtual data room provider notifies the account aggregator that the output is ready to be fetched, and in this case the balance is not greater than 50,000. It's important to mention here that an action in Knox only accepts JSON and is allowed to return only JSON, as well as all of the return values in the JSON need to be of type Boolean. So we'll go back and look at an action that tried to return non-Boolean value, and in this case, Knox takes note of it and basically invalidates the entire output. So you can see here that it tried to send back the actual average balance instead of just whether it was greater than 50,000 or not. And you can also take a look at the various logs in case there are some errors. So let's see, there are errors between this one. You can see you can get all of the log information. So yeah, Knox, also it's important to mention that Knox never processes any financial data in its databases. All action outputs have a fixed time to live and are flushed from the DB as soon as they are fetched by the account aggregator.